Ladies and gentlemen, Arknights' next and special event titled
Zwillingstürme im Herbst,
or in layman's terms, Arturia and Viviana's debut event, will be live on the 30th of April. No rest after episode 13 I suppose, but well, we global dwellers already knew what will come anyway. In any case, this was Arknights' CN 4.5 anniversary event. So we got a lot of new stuff that came alongside this event. This event will be set in Lithuania, and is pretty much the continuation of Hortus di Escapismo and Lingering Echoes event story. Okay, like usual, we will start with new operators. This event will feature a limited banner, 4 new gacha operators, the free unit is a 6-star, and 2 new operators added to the red voucher shop. First the limited, it's the cello plus war crime woman, Arturia. Or if by her codename, she is Virtuosa. Virtuosa is the first 6-star in Ritualist supporter class. Considered the queen of elemental damage, with how effective her element damage is. Able to clear trash mobs, tough elites, and bosses with quite an ease. Gameplay wise I highly recommend her. Besides, she is limited, not super limited, but still difficult to get if you miss her debut. We'll talk about our pretty criminal in detail later. Now let's see the 6-star beside her, it's none other than Viviana. Vivian is the second 6-star arts fighter after Surtur. If Surtur is more on the burst and heli drop department, Vivian is on the DPS and survival side, especially when fighting elites and bosses. Got a solid damage skill, although I find her survivability hit or miss. As for the new 5-star, we have Mozart. I mean baseline, our newest guardian defender. He's pretty much vanilla Nerl, but focuses more on protection against arts. And he's good at what he does. Then we have the free unit which is a new 6-star Dreadnought Guard. Kirito, sorry I mean Lessing. He specializes in DPS, countering all negative statuses, and reducing damage against an attack that doesn't come from the enemy he's blocking. As for the 2 new operators in the red voucher shop, both apparently have a new archetype. First the 4-star, we got Caper, and she's in the new Lope Shooter Sniper. Her attack is akin to using a boomerang. Then the 5-star is Diamante, and he's in the new Primal Caster archetype. I feel like his archetype is very awkward to use, with how reliant they are with other elemental dealers. Well, at least he got a bunch of Necrosis friends. Warmy and CN server is still the only one who can inflict burn element damage. Also, these 3 previous limited will have a rate up in this event limited banner. So for better or worse, you'll get a slim chance to obtain them here. Or you can spark Virtuosa, Vivian, and the previous limited, excluding Summer and Sui siblings. After you accumulated 300 pulls. And it's 75 for baseline. And don't forget, your remaining accumulated pulls will be converted into a special shop currency once the event ended. Next, let's see the new skins. We got 5 new skins in the Epoch series. And we'll learn a bit more about each operator's past in this, except for Texas Alter I suppose, who got a skin from a brand new outfit theme called Iteration Provident. Alright, here's the new and free skin for Meteor.
苦難と闇を恐れるべからず。思い出すにも値しない時代だ。夢でもな。
And here are the Rerun Skins, with many more should be available since this is a special event. Okay, let's see the event mechanics and enemies. We'll be fighting the whole goddamn orchestra. In this event stages, you will see this music sheet thingy atop of the screen. And there's a musical note that will gradually move along the bar. The grey one is default, which doesn't do anything. But you got two variations available. Yellow for passionate, and purple for melancholic. Which will give different buff and debuff to the enemies. Sounds simple enough, but each enemy also has a special ability that will activate depending on what variation the stage is currently in. Luckily you can alter the variation by using these towers scattered around the map. But first you need to charge their SP. And I mean all of them. You can't activate it if there's a tower whose bar isn't full yet. And since they are scattered like crazy. Even in some stages they even have a shield that protects it from receiving hits. Fast redeploy units are a great choice to charge those towers. Switching variation will also give your operators a buff, or minor inconvenience, for 20 seconds. And from what I remember this buff stacked based on how many towers, but only once. In some maps there's also this locust crossbow thingy. And you will be given some kind of orb to be deployed and attacked by your ops. The damage it received will be converted into physical damage by the locust crossbow. And in some stages this thing really helps to attack enemies, or charge up towers. Okay, moving on to the enemies. Most enemies here have some tough resistance. And most of the enemies' abilities can be silenced, so bring a silencer if you have one. First you have the average hands. The only enemy in this event who doesn't have special variation ability. Next the trumpet guy. The horn player. The bard who heals enemies. Then drummer. Next we got clarinetist, if let alone their attacks can become literal nuke. So by all means don't let them be when you see one. Moving to the elites we got the bulky hands. Whatever you do, you don't want to attack them while the stage is in their corresponding variation. Next the tuner, who can debuff your units, and drain the tower SP. Lastly, we got their conductors. This dude acts similar to the tuner, but they buff enemies. Now let's see who's the boss. What a surprise, it's the Witch King himself. Well, I'll let you know what happens in the story that ends up making us fight him. For now let's see what the greatest caster in Terra can do. Instead of having a predetermined path, he will move from checkpoint to checkpoint like Dorothy's vision boss. But in his second phase he becomes static. And you'll have to defeat him before the timer runs out and you fail. He's not the most hard-hitting boss we have seen so far. But his ability can make things tricky. Like how he can move two operators to a random tile. Locking an operator and disable them. And even force retreating them. In his second form he will position himself to a predetermined tile. His def increase, range becomes global, and conjures a shield that makes him immune against all physical and arts attacks from the shield direction. Disable all towers until he is defeated. And can alter the stage variation and increase its effectiveness to other enemies. And interestingly, other enemies who got stunned will get damaged by him once a variation ended. That's lore accurate I suppose. It's a big event, so clearing all of the event stages will give you 41 Origin Prime. Like the usual, farm event stages, get currency, and buy items in the shop. And these are the tier 3 materials that should have a higher drop rate in the event. This event also has a unique mini game, where I suppose you are tasked to create a melody that fits the guest's emotions and feelings, and blessing is obtained through this activity. As for the new modules, Juggernaut Defenders will get a module in this update. All of them currently got the X version, which will reduce the damage taken from enemies blocked by themselves by 15%. Lessing and Baseline will receive their module. And there's a second module for Bagpi and NTR Knight. IS4 monthly expansion is announced, with new story featuring Santala, new furniture, and the skin 40 phone is revealed. Then the long-awaited feature, Auto Repeat, will be added in this event update, although it only allows you to repeat a stage up to 6 times. KFC collaboration is announced and ready to go. Just like in CN, for Arknights JP you'll need to buy a special menu from the local branch, and obtain a code to redeem the collab skins. For Endwellers, as of now it's still pretty vague, but most likely there will be premium packs to obtain these skins and some other goodies. Like always, a single 10x pull ticket will be given for free for the limited banner, and some daily orundums. New operator record and paradox simulation, some new furniture. These operators will be added to the recruitment. The celebration lobby will be available to get if you haven't. And there will be some new in-game packs, including a 6-star selector, which includes all standard 6-star from release, up to Ines. And of course there are some new physical merchandise available to buy. So grab your wallet, we got a musician and a knight to gacha. That should be all. Adios.